Hey guys, welcome to Control and Recoil in PUBG on Xbox. People have been struggling with controlling the weapon recoil in PUBG on Xbox since the game was released. In this video, I'll be explaining a few things that will help you. The first thing that we're going to look at is the sensitivity settings. It's the most important thing that you need to get right, and it will 100% help you in your game. One of the biggest mistakes people make is asking other players for their sensitivity settings. Everyone has their own muscle reflexes and their own muscle memory and their own playstyle. This will not help you. The best thing to do is find the settings that fit your playstyle. We're going to start off by moving all of our settings down to 0, so we can go through each one and understand what each one affects. Let's start with general sensitivity. Being on 0, you'll be able to see that we're moving very slow, only being affected by the aim acceleration because it's currently set to 0. We'll get to that later. So now, let's put it up to 10 and see what is affected. As you can see, we're moving very fast. That is the only thing that is affected by this change in the general sensitivity. Next, we're going to look at targeting. Targeting is when you are holding down LT whilst using controller type A and holding down LB whilst using controller type B. As you can see, whilst being set to 0, we're moving very slow. Definitely not ideal for any kind of firefight. So let's move it back up to 10 and see how much has changed. As you can see, it's a hell of a lot faster. But once again, being affected by the aim acceleration, which we'll look into a little bit soon. Next, we're going to take a look at scoping. Scoping has 5 different sections. Scoping sensitivity being iron sights, red dots and hollows. 2 times scopes, 4 times scopes, 8 times scopes, and a 15 times scope. We're only going to look at scoping sensitivity, the rest you can figure out for yourself, it's pretty self-explanatory. And there you can see the changes that were made. A lot of people make the mistake thinking that general sensitivity is an overall sensitivity, where it's not, as you've seen in this example. Finally, we're going to take a look at aim acceleration. To my understanding, 0 means that it speeds up slowly over time, and 10 means that it speeds up pretty much straight away. Personally, I like to play on 0 with a 4 to 5 average overall sensitivity. So now you're probably wondering, how do I find what setting is for me? Let's say, for example, you've got a high sensitivity. You'll know this because you're constantly over aiming, you're missing left, right and center. If you've got too much of a slow sensitivity, you just won't be able to keep up with the player that's moving. The perfect sensitivity is when you are able to track a player and keep up with them and lead shots perfectly. In the next part of this video, we're going to take a look at the recoil patterns for the weapons in this game and how we can control them. There is one thing we need to remember, and that is the recoil on the PC is not the same as the Xbox. In the first couple of weeks of the Xbox, there was a patch that reduced the recoil across all the weapons. We're going to take a look at the AKM. Being one of the highest caliber assault rifles, and probably the weapon that has the most amount of vertical recoil, I think this might be the best one to look at. If you watch whilst I shoot the wall, you can see that the recoil of the AKM is in fact very random. We do 4 lines and they all go in completely different directions. Now this is a bad thing, however there is a good thing about the AKM. If you notice the bottom half has spread, the first 5 bullets are very close together. The first one being exactly where you aimed, and the next 4 being vertically above. One thing to remember is it takes 4 to 5 shots with an AKM to kill someone with a level 3 vest. So bearing that in mind, let's go back to sensitivity for a second. Now of course, controlling recoil is hard, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. For me personally, I found that playing with a lower sensitivity is easier to control the recoil with. Playing on a high one, you just overcompensate for the recoil and you end up shooting the floor. Another thing to remember is recoil is reduced whilst crouching and proning. In this example you can see the difference between standing while shooting and crouching while shooting. Probably about a 10% decrease in recoil whilst crouching. Something to always bear in mind, if you have the opportunity to crouch, crouch. Next, let's talk about attachments. The only real attachment that goes towards recoil on the AKM is a compensator. The compensator reduces spread, improving the horizontal accuracy. On the subject of attachments, let's talk about the M4. One question I get asked all the time is angle grip or foregrip. Personally, I find on the Xbox, the angle grip is better. Now that just might be just for me. You have to try it for yourself to see which one you play better with. I hope that little explanation helps. I'd always recommend avoid using full-on sprays, as in using a full magazine. I find it personally better to do between 5 to 10 rounds. If you can control the first 10 rounds of a magazine, or in case of the AKM the first 5, you'll be killing people faster than you can blink. The last thing I want to mention in this video, as cheesy as it sounds, is to practice. The more you practice, the better your muscle memory will be, and the better you will get at the game. That's the honest truth. I hope this video has helped. If there's anything I missed, or there's something you want me to go in further detail of, leave a comment down below, and I'll look into it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.